Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Psychonaut Sessions. I am your host, Daniel Moeller, and today we're going to take a look at The Dream. The Dream from Mockingbird Studios. Shout out to Wiley J. Connor, who sent me a box of comics to go through. I'll link the unboxing video in the chat in the description, so you can kind of see all the really cool stuff he sent. And this was one that really caught my eye. One, because I'd never seen it before. It was very new to me. So that's always one way to catch my attention. And the next, look at this. This looks like a power rocker album cover. Ugh, amazing. You got some guy trying to act like the Crow, but is blonde, and he's like Vince Neil holding a guitar in some kind of weird fantasy landscape with some kind of demon dude in the background. This is an album cover. This is a power rock album cover from the late 80s, early 90s, 100%. Mockingbird Studios. Not really heard of Mockingbird Studios either, and I did not do my research. I haven't checked up about who the people are that made this, or if Mockingbird Studios is even on my comic shop or any other area, but I just wanted to dive right in because I really loved this book. This logo is crazy. It kind of looks it's actually like yellow, blue, and red, but it kind of looks like it's like made out of American flag colors a little bit at first glance. So it's kind of an odd choice. And the way that the colors flow in and out, it's really weird. Really, really weird. Do I like it? Yes. Does it work in the graphic design sense? Yeah, I don't know. But this is a fully painted cover, not by the main artist of the book, by someone different. And I'll get to that in a second. Looks like acrylic as I dive deep into it, but love it, love it, love it. The cover immediately drew me in. I'm sold already, despite what's in it. So let's crack it open. All right, so our front matter here. Oy. It's really small script, and literally it's all set up for the story, even all the way down to here. I thought maybe this was like credit information of the people who created the book. It's not. This is all not only set up for the story, but then you get a list of characters in each of the place, and then you get definitions of certain words, because it's like they have different terms for things in this world that this story takes place in. Oi. The only thing you need to know is that this is in a far future Earth. There was some sort of great war that destroyed the Earth, and people fought in it to maintain peace. It's supposedly in the year 2187, and there's two major kingdoms. One's called Lot, and the other is called New London. So I had no idea what this is. It's a lot of words that are it's very verbose and trying to be poetic, but it's basically a young man who's kind of like a teenage punk just sitting there brooding on a mountainside. I thought this was some kind of maybe alien orb or something. I think it's actually like the sun rising or moon rising or something. I don't know why it's drawn that way. Automatically you're seeing we got some duotone happening here. A lot of it in this book. And then we got some detailed etching happening. We got our broody Vince Neil here, and then broody Vince Neil starts even laying down and like kind of giving us a crotch shot with his hair flowing in the wind too, kind of thing. Oh, it gets better. It gets like way, way, way better. And he's looking out over this castle, which is actually his home. So He's just brooding. He's a prince getting ready to become a prince, and he's brooding because I don't know. He's brooding for some reason. No, it doesn't say why at all. So the story and art is by Lance Hutto, Hutto. Never heard of him. This is 1991. Cover art is by Daren Bader. So the painter Daren Bader. So here in the castle, this is the castle Trollstar in the land of Lot. And so you get a husband and wife, the mother and father of this guy arguing because the boy took off and he's upset because he took off and they have birthday celebrations planned and he's being disrespectful, blah, da, 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 da. So automatically, like, it's really hard to tell. He starts, it's like he's referencing glamour rock people. This is actually supposed to be this guy. This looks like this would be the females. And this kind of looks like Lemmy. And maybe he's using him as a reference. But the backgrounds in this, one thing to notice is the backgrounds. A lot of duotone or zipatone. And the way the backgrounds are situated with the figures are just weird. They're very weird, it's like he was focusing on the figures and then the artist was, and I do that, I'm not knocking this at all, was like, you know what, fuck perspective. Like, I'm just not even, I don't care. And I kind of like it because it makes it very dreamlike and wonky, and I really enjoy it. So the father's mad and he's like, I'm gonna go to my quarters, and starts crying himself because apparently the boy's adopted, and he wants the boy to know and understand that he still loves him as his father. And he was like, I'll be in my room should he decide to return. So he's walking off, and then there's a person watching them, and it's the brother. And so this is actually the bio son of these two. So he's like the stepbrother. And look at this background. Look at the architecture of this place. How is this, like, the stairs are going down here? This is all marble, and it just goes into this one platform, and then this goes down into like a lower level. But there's no way to, because the stairs end there, and then on that lower level, which looks like, based upon where he would be at, like he would be about this tall, and then they have pictures down below here, and look at these pictures. This is totally like, it's like he took the album cover of Poison or Nelson or Skid Row, Striper. Oh, my camera's not. And use that as a reference for these dudes. Ugh, it's just not doing it. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The more subscribers I get and the more patrons I get, I can afford a new camera. So I need your all's help. So he's watching, and then he's like, he knows that his brother is in the cave. This place is like, this is like a place of dreams. I just noticed. Is that him too? Is that a giant portrait of him in his rocker hair as well? I mean, this is crazy. It's a world of rock stars in Hairspray. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And so here we get this other castle. This is the land of New London, and the way these clouds are kind of forming with this, it's weird. It's another just kind of dreamlike, surreal thing going on here. As well as this. So what we get is a shadowy figure here who's sitting on a throne, brooding. He's got a whole collection of monsters at his disposal. These are pretty cool looking. They're all pretty unique from each other. They're not just like all the same looking monster, which is cool. So he obviously hates the king because of the past war or whatever there was, and somehow the king ruined this guy's life, and he wants to destroy him and destroy his children. and he's got to pay for what he's done to me, sort of thing. So, a lot of fun, just blah, 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 villain screaming. But he makes some kind of statement there. This man you seek for me has stolen the gift of music. Its power destroyed an entire generation of man, leaving one known instrument capable of creating melody, an instrument my father had intended for me, the scar. And all I ask is the scar and the torn throat of the man who blackened my heart forever. Um, so he's basically going to have his demons, monsters attack and get the scar. So music was apparently banned. I guess I probably should have read this a little bit more thoroughly, but I just couldn't. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I should, because I even have front matter in my own comics, so I'm like, I feel bad, but I didn't do my job, ladies and gentlemen. So you can give me a dislike if you, no, don't, please still like the video. Um, but this guy stole, so the other king, who seems to be like he's the good king, stole music, and that, and because music caused the destruction of mankind, and he's looking for one musical instrument that's left called the scar. Gee, what could that musical instrument be? Here we get brooding Vince Neil again, and he decides to jump off of the cliff onto a platform on the cliff and lands just so amazingly. And he's going to a cave, which is a place he used to go when he was a kid, and he's going to go brood even more inside of a cave, and he finds his brother there. Now, I thought his brother was like seeming evil and trying to cause a problem, but his brother is actually like, I love you and I'm trying to like coerce you to go to this party. You need to celebrate your birthday and you should enjoy yourself. But my gosh, this looks like a woman. So I think he used poison, like Look What the Cat Dragged In, those albums to draw these characters, because my lord, yeah, they're glam rock, so they're very ambiguous sexually. I mean, he's even got that, crop top kind of thing in his belly out, sort of thing. So that's basically what's happening. They're like being buddies, and he's like, oh, this girl that you like, Leslie, is going to be there. So he coerces his brother to come back. In the meantime, the monsters are on their way. Really cool. I just wish that it was like that they were a little bit bigger so we could see more. And so they're on their way to the Lot Castle. And this was like laid out really weird. So it's a party of people. They're excited. He arrives. The father hears it in his study. Leslie, the girl, comes, and everybody watches the two of them meet. And then it's supposed to kind of go through here and here, and then the father shows up and just starts screaming at his son in front of everybody. And is like, there's no excuses. I will not stand for your self-centered behavior. You're far from being a man and even further from a prince. Spare this girl any further humiliation. It's like all he did that we know of was he didn't want to like go to the party. Like, I don't even understand what's happening. And so she's like, Lance, wait. And he's like, I can't endure this. And he runs off. So that's what's happening. And so he's running out of the castle. And it says, Lance leaves the castle, speed increased by pain, to the wall. And we see him run and then trip and then get up. Like, this was not necessary. At all. Like, that just, oh boy. And so he yells up to a guard, hey, throw me a rope so I can climb over the wall. And the guard's like, yeah, well, you better pretend like I never did this for you. And he was like, good, that's fine. And he jumps over the wall and collapses. And he's just sitting there crying, eyes filled with tears, become aglow with moonlight. Like, oh boy. Oh, he ran into the cave and collapsed, and that's what's happening. And then whenever this moonlight is shining on him, he discovers in the cave that there's something glowing at him, and it is the scar, the guitar. And he comes to it and picks it up, never seen it before, and puts it in his hands and starts trying to learn how to tune it and play it all by his lonesome in a world where music was banished. And then we get that there is a demon watching him as this is happening, some demon monster who's going to be attacking. Holy crap. And that's it. That's like, what? I need more. What is going on here? That's, ugh. It's a fantasy world where music is banned, populated by power rockers from 80s glamour rock days, where the guitar, electric guitar, is like the magical weapon of choice fighting against demons. My lord. It's like heaven. It's like pure heaven. So what's all this? Well, this is actually a flip book. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that for a while after having this. But it's a flip book, which is a lot of fun. They called him evil, and this is kind of like a cartoony cat book. Yeah, this is a cat. Really cool painting by the same dude, by the way. Same guy. But really fun painting. Love it a lot. So yeah, it's just some kind of, he's called Evil the Cat. And this is by Doug Tenapple. Daren Bader, that's the one that did the cover. This is cool. Ninjas for Hire. Another thing from Mockingbird Press. Where has Mockingbird Press been my whole life? Huh. Bob Loves Bob. What the hell is this? It's fun to see the graffiti in the back. This guy, it's like Booster Gold mixed with Raphael, mixed with like, I don't know what. Lord heavens. Really interesting. Yeah, I want to take a look at that. But okay, Evil the Cat. So we basically get just an evil cat who lives with the guy, kind of like in a Garfield situation, living with Dave. And so he's going through his owner's diary, and his owner's name is Winnie, Weny. And apparently within his diary, his owner just loves him, even though he's like, but I've been like trying to like terrorize him so much. And puts peanut butter on his diary and throws it into a basement, and they have multiple basements, to a bunch of rats to eat it up. Wenzel is the guy's name, but I guess he calls him Winnie for short. Do not feed the Democrats rats, get it? And when Wenzel comes home, he looks very weird. And he tries to get the diary back, and then tells him, look, I accidentally threw your diary in there. And the guy's like, well, I got you a bag of corn dogs. And so Wenzel's like, okay, I'm going to send you to obedience school. So they're in a flying balloon across the city. Now, one thing about this is, I think that this was drawn on smaller paper and they blew it up. It's got that kind of production feel to it, like in the way that the print quality is. So I think the dude originally drew this in smaller scale and they had to blow it up, unfortunately. But it's still cool. So they throw an anchor out when they find the school. They drop him off. There's this like big crazy lug dude that's a teacher that's got a missing arm that's gonna like teach him to be a better cat. And you see these owners with their other cats. He's gigantic and he's got like just like fun little like weird little things. Tells the cat to heel, and he's like, oh, if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna hit you. The cat scratches him and then opens up a can of Spam and puts it in his underpants. And he's like, I've been spammed. It's kind of weird. Some really weird choices, but still fun. This guy's a pretty good cartoonist. So he unionizes all the cats, and they all decide to get out their razors and shave off their tails, as a way of protest and unionizing together to terrorize their owners. So basically, the cats have taken over, and one of the cats gives Wenzel a card saying, Wenzel, I hate you. I took the balloon home so that by the time you get here, I will have poured motor oil all over your bed. And he's like, what? No death threat? He got better. So he just thinks his cat's the greatest, even when he's horrible. It's pretty fun. It's all around, the cartooning is pretty good. That my only complaint is that it's like, I think the line work is almost too thick. It's like all the kind of the same thickness the whole way through, for the most part. And that it was like blown up, but I liked it. It was great. I would see more. I'd like to see more. I hope that they continue this flipbook style where Dream number 2, if it exists out there, has They Called Him Evil number 2. That would be fun. I'd like to see the adventures of both. Really liked this, ladies and gentlemen. Mockingbird Studios. I need more. I need more Mockingbird Studios in my life. If anybody knows anything about any Mockingbird Studios books, please let me know. It's an early 90s production, 91, so hit me up if you have any information on it. Otherwise, really appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I have my own Patreon you can subscribe to with exclusive content, as well as I have my own comics and books you can buy at my shop. Thanks a lot, everyone. Everybody stay safe out there and keep it psycho.